Today, what I'm going to talk about is how we can actually leverage Azure DevOps to build a CI/CD pipeline for Power BI reports, and specifically when we are using it as an embedded for the embedded scenario. So let's go ahead and get started. What you can see on my screen is I already have a sample report, which I'm going to use to build the CI/CD pipeline. What that means is any changes that I'm going to do is it's automatically going to deploy on my Power BI services, and then you can actually embed that report into your application. So embedding part, I'm not going to talk about in this video. I'm just going to quickly walk you through what all steps you need to perform to achieve this task, right? So there are a couple of things that you need before you get started. One, you need Azure subscription. You also need Power BI license. You also need to have Power BI desktop for building the reports, and as well as if you want to publish at the first time, you can publish it from here. And then obviously you need a Visual Studio Code so that you can, any changes that you did onto the report, you can, if you want to just do it through the Visual Studio Code, you can go ahead and do that. And maybe if you have any, README files that you want to add it, that also you can do it from there, right? So apart from that, you also need Azure DevOps, which probably we're going to use for the code repository, and as well as we're going to use it for building the CI/CD pipeline. Okay, so the first thing is let's go to the Azure portal, and what we're going to do is I'm going to register an application. So if I go to my Azure Active Directory, if I go to the app registration, you can see I've already registered an application. So if I click on that, so once I have this app created, I have generated a secret. So whenever I'm going to push anything onto my Power BI environment, I can use this service principal. So I need to have an authentication keys, to perform the task. So hence I created that as well. And then I have created, or I would say set up a permissions for the Power BI service, as you can see. So you can come to the API permissions, go add a permissions, and you can figure it out Power BI service. Just go to the delegated permission. For this demo purpose, I basically given permission for all these the functionality, right? However, to achieve the CI/CD scenario that we gonna achieve, you probably not need all access, right? So you can look into the documentation and apply what all is required. But just for the demo purpose, I have added all this permissions to the service principal, right? So once I have this set up, the other thing on the Azure portal, what I did is I basically using the Azure capacity to basically run my Power BI reports. So as you can see, I have already created it. It's on start state. But if I'm not using, I can actually go ahead and pause that, or maybe if I want to scale down or scale up, I should be able to do it from here, right? So once I have this set up, the next step is I need to actually go and open my Power BI portal. So here's my Power BI portal. So I've already deployed or published the report, as you can see over here in my Power BI CI/CD workspace. But you can for now just avoid that. And the first thing that I'm going to do is once I come on to apps.powerbi.com, I can go to the settings, I can go to the admin portal, I can go then tenant settings, and I'll go for developer settings somewhere down, as you can see over here. And then, as you can see, I can embed this content in the apps. So this is good. And now I can enabling the service principals to use the Power BI APIs. So I've enabled that. And here I basically using the security group. right? So if I go back over here, and if I go to my Azure Active Directory, and if I go to the app registration, look over there, maybe I'll go to the groups over here. So I have created this Power BI security group, as you can see, right? Now I'm going to use the security group. So let me just go back over here. So I have used this security group and I click on apply. Now that's the first thing that I've did over here. Now you need to have the admin permissions, to make all these changes. Now the second thing is once I set up my workspace, as you can see over here, if I go to the workspace, you can see I only have one workspace. I can go to the workspace access. And as you can see, I have given permissions to the service principal over here by just adding the service principal and then assign the permissions. In my case, I've just given the admin permission, but if you want to give any other, you can go and do that and just click on add. Now, once I'm done with that, let me just go back to my next thing is probably will go on to my Power BI reports, which is Azure DevOps. So here, if I go into the repository, as you can see, I basically set up a repository, and then I basically clone this repository on my local computer, right? And as you can see, I have the files, the PBX files, and the README file as well, right? So once I have this information available, now the next step that I did is I basically gone into the pipelines. And in the pipelines, I create the first pipeline, as you can see, PBI report. I just click on that, click on edit, just to show you what are the tasks that are there. So as you can see over here, there are two tasks. One is the copy file task, which you can, get it from here. You can say copy file task. And then what I'm saying is whatever reports are there in the folder in reports, just copy in this target folder. And then the another task is the publish task, which basically gonna, take that artifacts and it's going to publish that, right? So these are the two tasks that I have created over here, and then I will just go back into my release pipeline, and over here, if I click on the release pipeline, so as you can see, this is my source, and if I go to the stage and the task one, I'm actually using Power BI Action extension. I'm probably gonna provide the link in my GitHub repository, and that makes life easier. You need to just provide the connection. As you can see, I have provided a connection, and if I click on manage this connection and open it over here by click on edit. So you can see I have my tenant ID, client ID, and the secrets. So this is my connection string. So either I can use username password or I can use service principal, right? Now, once I set up this connection, then I can actually define what kind of an action that I want to perform, right? So you can have multiple actions. So in this demo, I'm just uploading a Power BI report, but then if you want to refresh your data sets, you want to update your data source connections, out of the box, this extensions provides various functionality which you can leverage, right? And then obviously, this is my source file, and this is the workspace where I'm going to deploy the files, right? So now, once I set up my CI/CD pipeline, now let's go ahead and make a change in the report. So I'll go on to my Power BI report, and I'm going to say this is my demo, and I'll just go ahead and save it. And I'll just go ahead and go to my Visual Studio, and I'll just say added new comment. And once I'm done with that, I'll just gonna go ahead and commit these changes, and I'm gonna push those changes to my repository. And once probably it's gonna done, I should be able to let's go to my pipeline, and as you can see, it's added a new comment, and the pipeline is going to run, and if everything is goes smoothly, it's going to come to the release, and I should be able to see a new release over here. So let's just wait over here, and at the end, whatever changes that I've made it on to my report, it should finally get reflected on my report here. So if I go to the dashboard and open my report, so this should get changed over here, right? So this is what we're expecting. So let's go back, and this is successfully completed. Pipeline execution happens. So now I can see the release is started. Let's go to the stages, and let's see what's all happening over here. And the agent is ready for the job. And now you can see it basically starting publishing the reports, downloaded, done. Now it's publishing, and it's going to perform all these steps. And thanks to the author make over here to make this extension available, which makes life easier for developers to deploy the report without any human interventions. So it's let's wait over here, and I think pretty soon it's going to deploy everything. And I'm assuming finger across that I haven't made any wrong changes which gonna make it fail, right? So let's see over here. Let's just close it. And let's go back over here and refresh it. There you go. So I could see it's available. All the changes that I made, it's basically taken up, right? So this is what a very small video I want to make, and just to quickly walk you through all these steps which is required. I'm gonna provide all the resources which you can go ahead and read and get a better understanding in details. So if you have any questions or you want to contribute by any means, I'm gonna share my GitHub repository as well. Feel free to create a pull request and let me know. All right, so with that, thank you so much for watching this, and have a nice time. Bye.